Welcome to the mini project part 1 lecture. So in this lecture, what we're going to do is create a game called Scissors, Paper, Rock. It's also sometimes called Scissors, Paper, Stone. And the game logic is as follows: scissors beats paper, paper beats rock, and rock beats scissors. And the requirements for this game are as follows: allow for multiple inputs for the player, output which player has won, be able to quit the game at any time, play against the computer, which is going to be player 2, create a scoreboard text file, append the date and time to every game played to the text file, and lastly, run Python scripted game as an executable file and include an icon. Okay, so I'm actually going to just show you the final product of what we're going to be creating. So as you see on the right hand side, we've got a folder here called dist, and what we have is an icon, and it's called mini_proj.exec. So this is the executable file, and if I double click it, what you can see is that we have in this window here, welcome player, type start for new scoreboard or continue to update scoreboard. And just note that there's nothing here at the moment apart from this icon, which you can change actually. It doesn't have to specifically be this. If I were to do start, I'm going to do this all in capitals, and then run. As you can see, I have the game.txt file, double click it. So all I have at the moment is scoreboard and date and time. So we're going to be filling this with the score for both player 1 and 2 and the date and time. Okay, so I'm player 1, so I'll put in, let's say, paper. So scissors beats paper, so player 2 wins. I'll do rock. Rock beats scissors, so I win. And then I'll do scissors. Okay, and we'll double click on here again, and now you can see the score. So player 1 score and player 2 score. So they're even. We've got the date, so it's the November 18th, 2017 at 4:28 and 9 seconds. Okay, we'll just double click again. Because I've already got a scoreboard here, I'll do continue. If I were to do start, then all of the data that we've been saving, which is just one line we've saved at the moment because we've only played once, would be deleted. Okay, so continue and then enter, and I'll do, let's say, rock. Rock beats scissors, therefore I win. I'll do rock again. Rock beats scissors, so I win again. And I can actually just do quit as well. So that's 2 for me and 0 for player 2, and you got the times there. And lastly, if I just do this, whereby I put in start, and then I just do quit. As you can see, 0 and 0 for players, and the time is 4:29, so there's only one line. So the previous 2 lines were deleted. Okay, so I'm just going to expand this now. So how are we going to go about actually creating this game? Well, I'm going to be referring to this logic here of scissors beats paper, paper beats rock, and rock beats scissors. So we'll do a while loop. So I have play equals free while play is greater than 0, colon. We'll just do print statement for now of play game and then play. And we'll do play minus equals 1 because we're counting down. So 3, 2, 1. And I could do, let's say, 5, 5 to 1, 10, 10 to 1. Okay. So we'll just do 3, and we'll get rid of this print statement now, and we'll do player 1 is going to be the inputs, and we'll have p1 sign colon dot lower, so we can make sure that they are all lowercase. So we put it in uppercase, it will be converted to lowercase, and we'll have a variable which is going to be a list of strings, which are scissors, paper, and lastly, of course, rock. We'll also do score, so we'll keep the score for player 1 and 2, 0 and 0. So the initial values for player 1 and 2 are going to be obviously 0, that makes sense when we were just starting a game. And then we'll do some control flow of if player 1 is in sign and player 1 is not equal to quits, colon, we'll do firstly an import of import random module as RD. So this is then going to allow for player 2 to input. So player 2 equals rd.choices, and this is only available for certain Python versions. So it's not available, for instance, for Python 3.4. So we'll do sign, and then we'll do the probability. So you can do it this way, of 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3 for each of these strings, scissors, paper, and stone, or rock rather, sorry. Or we could do, instead, just ×3, which gives the equivalent output. Then we'll index by 0. We'll do print player, that should be P2, sign player 2, and then we'll do nested control flow of if. This is going to be for player 1 winning, so we've got 3 possible outcomes for player 1 winning. So player 1, if player 1 is equal to sign, and then we'll do index 0, which is going to be for scissors, and player 2 equal to sign, which is going to be paper, so scissors beats paper, and then we'll do or, this is a backslash, and make sure the cursor is touching the backslash, this red backslash. If you do this, and you run the code later on, you're actually going to cause an error. So again, make sure that the cursor is touching the backslash, and then press enter, and then we'll continue with player 1 equal to sign 1 this time, which is going to be paper, and paper beats rock, so we'll do 2 equal to sign 2 index, or player 1 equal to sign, it's going to be rock, and that beats of course scissors, so it's going to be sign 0. Okay, and then we'll just do print player 1 wins, and then we'll do print, just make some space here, and we'll have P1 underscore score equals or plus equals 1, so it's going to increment it by 1. So if this evaluates to true, then we'll have the print statement of player 1 wins, and we'll have a +1 added on to our P1 score variable. Okay, and then all we're going to do is for player 2 now is simply copy and paste this code here, and then just modify it slightly. So we don't really need to refer to that anymore, the string above, for the logic, because we've already got it done within this code here. So we'll change this to an elif statement. Elif, and let's scroll down, and all we have to do is simply change the ones here. So if you hold the control, then left tab, left tab, left tab, and lastly left tab here, delete and do 2. And then we're going to just change these 2's here to 1's. 1's, okay. And that should do it. And of course, also, if neither of these are true, so if this if statement and this elif statement are false, then we'll have a draw. And we'll just do print. Okay. Alright, so what else can we take into account here? If player 1 in sign. So what if player 1 is not in sign and is not equal to quits? So we'll do elif player 1 not in sign and player 1 still not equal to quit. We'll just do print, please enter a valid sign, something like that. And then we'll just do print, just to keep some space there. And we'll have the, this is very important, the play minus equals 1 has to be here, otherwise you'll have an infinite loop. So put that there. And that reminds me, if you have play equal to 0, so if we finish the game, we'll do if play equal to 0, we'll do print game over. But what if we wanted to quit during the actual game? So within this nested control flow here, well, we can do another elif, and we can do that, of course, before the else statement. So we'll do elif player 1 equal to quit colon print end game now, just to distinguish it for the time being. And we'll do break, because otherwise it will not break out of the loop. So the break statement stops the loop from running. And also, what we'll do is, because we want to know the score, we hold the Control and left tab, so you've got two cursors here, and then we'll do print player 1 equals versus player 2 equals, and we'll do dot format p1 underscore score and p2 underscore score. Okay, great. So we can quit anytime we like. Got drawer. If we have an invalid input, then it will say please enter a valid sign, and we'll get an output for game over when play is equal to 0. So that should do it for now. We'll just check how many lines we got. So just hit here on the white side here, and then hit the L button. So we've got a total of, what, 45 lines approximately. Okay, so I'm going to run this. Hopefully we won't have any errors. Certainly won't have any infinite loops. So again, make sure that you have the play minus equals 1 not inside the nested control flow, but within the first if statement here. So within this if statement here. Okay, great. So we're going to run this now, and I'll just press enter. So we'll do paper, rock, and we'll do scissors. Okay, so you got 1 and 1 for both players. Game over. So scissors beats paper, so player 1 wins. Rock has draw, and scissors, paper beats and scissors, so player 2 wins. Okay, that's great. That's working fine. Let's say we wanted quits as well. So we'll do quits. So quit isn't working. Okay, so I have to make sure the quit is working. If elif player 1 is equal to quits. Okay, I should actually put this, let's cut that. That should actually be outside of the nested control flow. So it should be on the same line as here. Okay, that should hopefully work now. So we'll do a quit straight away, see if it works. Quit. Okay, great, so that ends it. And if we just do a few plays then quit. Quit. End game now. Okay, great. So that works. Alright, so now we want to import another module. So import date time as dt. And I'm going to have to import it again here because I'm not going to run this code at the moment. Actually, I'll just run this, and then we'll just do quits. Okay, and then if I do, let's say, date equals dt, and then hit tab, so you've got dot tab, then we want date time. So there's all the functions here and methods, but we're only going to be using this one. Date time, and then that should be now. Then I do dates. As you can see, we have the year, the month, which is November, the day, the hour, the minutes, the seconds, and the microseconds. So we don't really want the microseconds, that's a bit excessive. So what we can do is, if we do dot tab and st, we get strife time and time. So what we can do here is actually the same thing, strife time, and we'll just do that there, dates, and we'll get the year and the dates as a whole, and then we'll get also the time. So we'll do a string, and that's going to have m, and then day, and then this one is going to be, you know, as capital Y for year. We'll just do that for now, and then dates. So you can see we have a November 18th, 2017. Okay, great. And then we'll just do the actual time. So that's going to be, for a cool hour, this is all going to be in capitals. And then minutes, and then we'll have colon, whoops. Then we'll have colon again. Okay, great. So we've got 4 p.m., 41 minutes and 30 seconds. So we're going to be just copying and pasting this in a moment, but what I'm going to do is actually just grab all of this. Just grab this here, and I'm going to convert this into a function. Okay, and I'll paste it in here, and just hit tab there, tab there, tab there, and we'll call this, let's say def, let's say, call this results, and we'll have p1 underscore score, p2 underscore score, colon, and we'll convert this into, let's say, I don't know, final equals, and we'll have print final, and we're also going to do return, return final and date. That will give us a tuple. Okay, so just run that. And also we're going to do clear, actually there should be def clear game colon. We'll do f equals open. It's going to call that game.text like we saw before at the beginning. W. We'll do f.write. And actually that's going to have, well, that's fine as it is. It should be fine. Clear game. We'll do scoreboard, and then make some space for the, do a line there. And we'll do one for date, time, date and time. And then we'll do f.close the method. Okay. And I'm about to do clear game. Run this. Let's check in the folder here, and so you can see we have game.text. So scoreboard and date time. Great. Okay. And also we're going to create one more function. I'm going to call that timer. So def timer. It's going to take one parameter called score. We'll have f equals open game.text, and then we'll do append. So this is for updating. And we'll have /n for a new line plus score 0. This is going to get our output called final, so it's going to be the score for both player 1 and 2, and then f.write score. This is going to be the date and time, and then of course s.close. That's good to go. Okay, so we're going to be using results and timer to replace some of the code here and make it a little bit more dry, which means don't repeat yourself, so you want to make it a little bit more readable. Okay, so we'll replace this here, and we'll replace this, except for the break. We'll keep the break, and that's going to be res equals results. It's going to have p1. If I just check by hitting the shift and the tab, so p1 and score and p2 score. Right, so I'll do score and p2, I can type p2 score, and likewise I'm going to do one here as well. Res equals results p1 score and P2 score. And we also want the timer, so it's going to be res, and we'll have a timer here as well. Timer, res. Okay, that should do it. So we're going to be creating a update for this text file here every time we play a game. So this should do it, and we'll run it. So let's run. We'll do let's paper, rock, rock. So player 1 got 1, player 2 got 0, and let's just refresh here. And there you have it. Okay, great. So we got the player 1 is 1 and the player 2 is 0, but we need to actually make some space here. So I'm just going to go back here. Okay, so go into the function, results, make some space there. Let's just check here. It's probably maybe a little bit excessive. That'll do. And I'm going to use the clear, so we run this, and we refresh this. So it's all clear now. And I will run the code again. So paper, rock, rock. So player 1 got 1, player 2 got 2. And I'm going to just double check, so refresh. Great, okay, that's not too bad now. It's a little bit more readable. So you can see the scores properly, you can see the dates, and you can see the time. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here, and we'll carry on in the second lecture.